Always inspiring and always fun. Let's welcome Dennis Alstrand.
You know, one of the main reasons why I'm glad to be here right now here today, what if we had our services like at 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and here it comes, Super Bowl party Sunday. You guys be out there going, oh, those lousy Chiefs won again in the fourth quarter. When's it ever gonna stop? Falling on the floor. When Rev Bev asked me to do this talk on Super Bowl Sunday, I was going, yeah, man, I'm waiting, count me in. But then she added this caveat that she wanted NFL analogies. And I was going, how am I going to do that without appearing really dorky, you know? And I came up with a brilliant idea. Back in the 1960s, if you've ever seen photos of old football players from the 60s, they looked like that. Quarterbacks looked like this. No one ever really threw the ball like this, I don't think. I think maybe Johnny Unitas did, but. Receivers. What about kickers now? Foot in the air, both feet up in the air. Is there one more of those? Yeah, there we go. There's a receiver, both feet in the air like this. You're locking someone away. So here's my big idea. Thanks, Ray. Whenever I get to a football analogy, because not everyone knows football, right? So I'll give you one of these. So you can go, oh, he's about to talk about football. He's going to make an analogy about football. So everyone's ready. But it's also true that sports, almost any entertainer, music, sports athletes especially, they've got to be spiritual. Theirs is a demanding and incredibly rough position that they're in. Let's say this happens sometime today, the Super Bowl, everything is on the line. Millions of people are watching from around the world. And you're a wide receiver running down the sidelines, and the ball is coming at you, and there's thousands of people in the stands down in New Orleans. Some want you to fail, and some want you to catch that pass, and the ball's coming at you. And you know that when you catch it, someone's going to want to hit you. You don't just catch a ball and prance into the end zone. No. Can you imagine being that person at that moment? No matter how many times you've caught a football in your life, this is the big stage. Imagine a baseball player coming in out of the bullpen to face the best hitter in the National League. Everything is on you, and you can't stiffen up. You got to be loose. And even though there's 60,000 people in the stands that want you to fail, you've got to come in and you got to do your thing. Or else it might be, see you later. Your career is over. And to me, I've been trying to think of what it's called in gymnastics. It's called a pommel horse, where they flip on them. Oh, man. How do they even learn how to do that? Can you imagine? So you're in the Olympics, again, watched by a worldwide audience. And you've got to stand on something this wide, take 3 steps forward, and flip up in the air 2 or 3 times and come down on your feet. And everyone in the country or in the world is watching this. You know, you've got to believe in yourself is the only thing that's going to work for them, aside from their great natural talent. They all think that they're enough. And so this was my topic for today that I was given, and I was really glad I was given it because I feel very strongly about this idea of feeling that you're enough. It's an important thing. And one of the classes that Rev Bev gave, I don't remember the exact wordings, but the basic idea was that one of the worst things that can happen in the world is enough people who do not think that they're enough. And it reminds me very briefly of the story of Richard Nixon. And as he tells himself, he was, given a hard time in high school so badly that he spent the rest of his life trying to prove to the others that he wasn't enough. I'm going to show you You know, and he was senator, and he was vice president. Then he ran in 1960 and lost the election. He ran for governor of California in 1962 and lost the election. He ran for president in 68 and was elected, and again, but he shamed himself and had to quit in the middle of his term, his second term. So all his drive and all his glory was there for but a moment and lost. But it was all because he was reveled and he was given a hard time in high school. He was going to show the world he was enough. And then another version of not enough, it has to do with by way of comparison. And this is one that I find myself being trapped by. Oh, there are people out there who ace their way through life. They understand politics. They understand personal finances. They even understand national finances. They understand astrophysics. And there's pictures of them in their 5-week vacation in Europe with a big smile on their smug face. How did you guys do that? There's the people that can fix their own cars. I'm always behind them in the car parts store. Because even though I was on YouTube before walking in, so I would know every answer to every question that the guy's going to ask me from behind the counter, I get behind this guy going, yep, I got me a 1949 Plymouth, you know, dual brakes, C1000 engine, and I got to rebuild that engine, but I can only do it with one hand because I burnt my other hand. And I'm behind him huddling. Oh. I'm huddling my troops, my invisible men around me going, all right, it's going to be our turn in a minute. We're going up there and we're going to know what we're going to talk about. We're going to answer every question they have. But it doesn't happen that way, does it? They're going to keep asking questions to you and go, you know what? I don't know. They're going to realize I'm an imposter and take away my membership to life. It's like losing the Super Bowl. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? It just so happens I have a few answers here. And the first one I want to go with is I want to quote our resident philosopher and poet, Maddie Carr, back there. She put something on Facebook the other day, and I'm breezing through Facebook, and I went, wow, wait a minute, this is really good. I'm sharing this one. Here's what she says, and the first line is one of the most important. Turn off the news. Shut off the noise. Take a breath. Take a box breath. This moment of peace matters. Your peace matters. Let the current of your breath slow. Let the high surf turn to dulcet tides. And here's my favorite little line from her whole thing. Our energy is influential. Because isn't that absolutely true? Whatever energy we bring, bad energy, we influence others with bad energy. But if we bring good energy, we influence people with this good energy that comes outside of us and just blows its way out into people's waiting arms. I love that line. Our energy is influential. She says, our peace is powerful. Shut off the noise. Kind of like the words of none other than John Lennon, turn off your mind, relax, and float downstreams. But Maddie's right on how to start almost any improvement. I think that just about every time I've stood up here, I've said, turn off the news. Or at least be careful with which news you choose. Because if you choose the wrong news, you'll lose. I went for that. Just made that up. But we have a choice. We have a commitment to make every day of our lives. Every day of our lives. No matter even if we're sitting at home by ourselves all that day, we have a choice and a commitment to make every day. Are we good enough? Yes. Hell yeah, we are. In fact, this talk could have been 5 seconds long. I could have said, I'm good enough, you're good enough. Thank you. Are we good enough? Do we say yes or no to things that come to us? Do we throw the bomb or do we punt it away? When Rev Bev asked me to do this talk, I could have said, no, I'm not good enough. And she would have probably gone upside my head. What if I don't come up with anything to talk about? I'm taking it too seriously. What if instead I just decided to tell it how it is for me and let it be? Yes, I'm good enough. Yes, you are good enough. Let's go over a few things that Ernest Holmes teaches us, our founder Ernest Holmes, with his philosophy. Thought creates reality. Thought creates reality, and it shapes our experiences. We begin by transforming our thoughts to positive ones. Thoughts just come. Who knows where they come from? Sometimes they're negative. You can transform your thoughts into positive ones. God is up in here flinging that football. Are you open to receive? You know, I gotta say though, it's a lot easier catching a football from God than a real one, as my broken finger will tell you. But all you have to do is say, yes, I'm open to receive. Number 2, he talks about self-acceptance. Happiness is tied to self-acceptance. Recognize and accept our own worth and our own diversity. We all have something, well, most of us have something we've done in our lives where we go, man, I really sucked when I did that. And it keeps coming back to me how I did it. And you can just punt that thought out of your life. Don't worry about it. We've all done something, and we all can just get rid of that thought. Every time it comes in, turn it positive. Living in the present. Here's an interesting one. I'll try to explain this. Maybe you've heard of last Thursdayism, anybody? No? Let's see what I can do. There's a philosophy that began in the 1850s. I think it was a German fellow. He calls it last Thursdayism. And basically what the idea is, the unprovable idea is that the entire universe and us and dinosaur fossils, everything, our memories, our relationships, everything was created last Thursday. And if everything was created last Thursday, that means things are only 3 days old. And if things are only 3 days old, that means all these negative thoughts that we have, you know, you're not good enough, you're too stupid, or whatever that we've heard in our childhood, we all carry with us, or many of us carry with us. It's only 3 days old. How easy is it to take a thought that's 3 days old and punt that sucker away? I like last Thursdayism. It's a real good way to get rid of junk. Because otherwise you're going, you know, I've got a lot invested in this. I've got 50 years of me thinking about what that guy said. I'm not giving it away that easy. You know, it gives me stories to tell people, like Reverend Bill. I can tell you stories, all my bad stories, right? No, you don't have to, because it's only 3 days old. And if you can change it to last Saturdayism, it's only 1 day old. It's just a philosophy that can't be proved right or wrong. Anyway, I like that one. That works for me. Hope it works for you. Gratitude and positivity. If Charles was here, I'd say, hey, Charles, how you doing? He'd go, I'm grateful. He says it all the time. And it's just inbred in him now. It's part of his life. Grateful. I'm grateful. Doesn't even have to say what for. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for everything. Gratitude and positivity attracts gratitude and positivity into our lives, doesn't it? Isn't that true? The more gratitude you feel, the more positivity you feel, the more people around you feel the same thing. It's amazing how this works. So gratitude and positivity. And then finally, spiritual practice. Any Star Trek fans here? Next Generation narrows down a little bit. Captain Picard, whenever there's like some new big thing they're going to go do, some new big adventure, he would sit in his chair and go, engage. Make it so. Engage. And I love that. One word just drives. Let's say I want to get ready for this talk. Engage. Make it so. And it's a matter of commitment too. Everything that we do and everything that we teach. For example, I'm about to start a class here, and I hope, how many people are taking this class? I hope there's more hands. Yeah, there's a good amount of hands going here. I'm going to commit to that class, like always. I'm going to commit reading all the chapters, doing all the homework, listen to everything that comes up in her classes, because she will challenge us. She will challenge us, but the challenge is doable. I guarantee every time it is. There's a challenge, I'm committing. I hope you're all committing too. And if you're not going to the class, commit to the teaching and the learnings of the Center for Spiritual Living, Science of Mind. Commit to it. Throw that bomb. And if you got some stuff to get rid of before you take the class, put that stuff away. This morning I went online to see what people are talking about this very subject. And at the New Vision Center that Rev Bev came from, her friend Reverend Karen Einhaus started the whole proceedings with having everybody repeat these words. I'm going to ask you to do the same things. The words are, I embrace the wonder of life, knowing I am enough. I embrace the wonders of life, knowing that I am enough. One more time, let's keep it going. I embrace the wonders of life, knowing that I am enough. I am enough. Believe me, you are enough. And I'd like to close with these words. We have choices to make every day. Am I good enough? Are you good enough? Yes. Let's take it slow and look at our way. Are we good enough? Yes. Let's check our faith in ourselves, in others, in the world. Is it all good enough? Yes. Let's start with ourselves. Look within. Am I good enough? Yes. I'm really curious to know how you feel right now. Are you good enough? Yes, I am. Then I'm done. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.